You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/MBO. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Even if you're listening to your host have a little bit of a cold, that's because I'm just getting over a weird bug that's been going around here that just seems to coincide every year with sending the kids back to school. I wonder if the two are related. Anyway, sorry about my nasal quality today. And I definitely don't want that to distract from this week's epic guest, Mr. Tomo Fujita. If you don't know Tomo, I'm actually really surprised because he has been well known on the internet and off the internet for a long time. He is an instructor at Berklee who has given some lessons to some rather well-known students, maybe one that has a rather well-known signature guitar made by PRS that's named after a metallic sky, some guy named John Mayer. Anyway, Tomo is not only an insanely talented guitarist in his own right, but he's also a fantastic instructor, and he has one of the biggest online lessons platforms, and dare I say, probably one of the best as well. He is a fantastic dude, a really, really fun guy to talk to, and I think you're going to like this episode. Now, I'm going to say something on this episode that I don't think I've ever said. Maybe? I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever said this in the intro. Once you get done with this episode, it would genuinely be worth your time if you navigated over to the Tone Mob YouTube channel, where I'm going to post the video version of this podcast, because there is some show and tell happening that I think you get the gist of by listening to it, but you actually should watch this. Tomo brings some guitars on camera and actually explains what he's talking about, and it's really, really helpful to get the visual as well. So if you would go over to the Tone Mob YouTube channel, this will be posted on Monday, and I'll have the YouTube version out as soon as possible. But if you go over there and subscribe and hit the notification button, you will find out as soon as it's ready. So please do that if you haven't already. I'm posting a lot more on YouTube, and I'm posting a lot more of the podcast videos, which a lot of people have been asking for. So yeah, go check that out. I actually posted 2 videos last week. Look at me go, amongst all the other nonsense, even while I was sick. So yes, if you could check out Tomo's episode over there on YouTube, that would be massively helpful for both of us, actually. So anyway, this episode is still worth listening to in an audio form. We get into his story, we get into a lot of good stuff, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's talk to Mr. Tomo Fujita. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Wait, I said that wrong. I ruined my own intro.
Okay, no,
I'll try it again.
Hello,
everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast, a show about guitar stuff occasionally, sometimes. I'm your host, Blake Weiland, and with me today, I have Tomo Fujita. What's going on, dude?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I met you at the NAMM show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, how have you been? It's good?
Good. Busy. But
that's good to hear.
All the good kind of busy. I'm not complaining. So
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I keep thinking this year has been just not as much as a traveling musician or something, but it's just been a lot of back-to-back travel things for me all summer up
Wow.
until maybe 2 weeks ago. So
Oh, wow. That's
Just-
great.
just getting settled back in.
Yeah. I was touring on entire month of August, then came back in Boston, then settle back to teaching now.
Yeah.
3 days a week. It's good.
Yeah. Well, so I know a fair bit about you since,
Yeah.
we've met at NAMM, and obviously I've followed
Yes.
your content for a long time, but I don't actually know the full Tomo story. I don't
Wow.
know, like, how did you get into this? Because you've come at the guitar, like, first of all, for the listeners, I don't know, we all love guitar, we all love
Yeah.
music, but I don't know if anybody loves guitar as much as you do.
Yeah, that's actually really true because my family, they always makes fun of me with me and the guitar. Like we have a dinner conversation. Sometimes I look up and kind of thinking something, and then my daughter said guitar like this, and I go what? What is talking? Because that's how much I'm always thinking about the guitar. And my wife always said, "You have so many girlfriends here," Well, I mean, I think I'm so fortunate that I love guitar and I'm so enjoy every day. And everything I do around the guitar, I make a living. So I can't complain really.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, how did you get there? When did you first start playing, and how did you
Yes.
carve this career? Because I think you've got
Sure.
also one of the most unique careers in the guitar world.
I think so. Well, just like everybody, stay in the bedroom practicing guitar, and mom call at dinner time, come down, come up again, practice, that kind of deal, high school. But I always forget this part. End of high school, I really thought guitar is not really great, like career to pursue. So I decided to go to regular college, almost like a please my parents, and that's what I did. So basically, age 17 to 18, 19, I didn't touch my guitar 2 years. I feel very sad because somebody else was playing guitar, but then I have to study something else. And then I went to regular college studying Russian language.
Oh wow!
Just because I figured out if I do that, if I get the job, I make really good money. When I was 10, 22, I can play guitar as a hobby. That's what my idea. But then 1 year at the college, I hated studying Russian and something else that besides music. But I didn't know I have a back plan, but I start studying jazz guitar with jazz guitar teacher. So that was age 19. 1 year struggle with regular college work and struggle with my life. And then I found bass player in town, Kyoto. And I asked, this guy got the scholarship from Berklee. Great story.
Okay.
Wow, he got the scholarship from Berklee and he can go to Berklee. Oh, I need to know that. I was just curious. So I found this guy. He didn't like me because I asked too many questions from the beginning. But he gave up. See, this is a really important lesson. If you have a question, ask, because you don't want to miss it. So I asked. He answered. He helped me. Guess what? 6 months later, I got scholarship.
Nice.
But year before, I already taking jazz guitar lesson. You see, already 1 year, I was kind of preparing something without knowing. Chance arrived. I grab it, and then I did it. So basically, second year at the college, everything changed. The 6 months later, I got the scholarship. Scholarship will last 2 years. So I said, okay, I'm gonna work 2 years, make some money so that I have living expenses, but I get full ride at the Berklee. So that's chance. Then I came to Berklee. I was okay. I played pretty good, but not anything special. But then I was playing style of Larry Carlton fusion. I was really into Scott Henderson, Pat Metheny, Mike Stern, John Scofield, all those guys, and copying just like everybody else. And then again, 6 months in Berklee, I was like, wow, everybody sounds the same. Everybody doing the same. Everybody sounds the same. Exactly sounds the same. I can't do that. I figure it out. You see, sometimes you have to go to a little bigger pond, bigger place, so that you see more people. Not like a small pond, like a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there. I just woke up. Wow, this is different than I thought. I thought my dream was kind of easy, just pursue whatever I like, but everybody doing. So I decided to study as much as I can. So focus on jazz, not the fusion, jazz. Then graduate from college. So everything, fast, fast story. When I graduated from Berklee, first thing I did, joined the blues band. Blues band use, Fender Deluxe or, Bivolux reverb, plug in straight. That was like, wow, difficult to do because I used to use delay, chorus, compression, all the pedals. Pedal board like that. So now, after that, my pedal board is like just TS9 wah pedal like that, So what happened was I graduated from Berklee with a lot of knowledge. Then I realized I don't have a blues feeling. So that's when I decided I will not listen any jazz anymore. No knowledge, no jazz. Everything blues, feeling, no knowledge. That was like about 3-4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably 1990 to 94, probably. Really understand. 94, 95, that's when I'm getting my own sound.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So almost like took me 4 years at the college, 4 years outside. Then finally I get the sound, which was a little bit bluesy, slightly jazzy, a lot funky, but everything kind of melt in together.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the story. Then, few years later, about 91, 92, I was teaching guitar session at the Berklee. Then Berklee, guitar department asked me to join. 1992. So I joined 1993 as a faculty at the Berklee. So that's already changed. So you have to think, 2 years, gave up a guitar, went to college, that hated. But then I took one chance. I asked all a question. The guy hated, but I did. Then everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So message I want to say to people, don't give up your dream. Also, don't compare. Don't listen anybody says negative thing. Like I listen so much about people say, oh, music is not really a great thing to pursue, You have to get the real job so that your parents are happy. You can practice the guitar all day long.
Mm-hmm.
That's I took, literally, And
Yeah.
But the one thing I learned from that, I made an effort to study something I didn't like. And I did it pretty good. So I went to college. That experience when I turned into music that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So little easier,
Yeah.
Still a lot of hard work, but I had a really good work ethic through those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Then become guitar teacher. And always a question, do you teach guitar just because you don't gigs? Like that. Some people say that. People say that because you don't have enough gigs, that's why you teach. No. I have a lot of gigs. I can do that. But I love teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I help people and they smile and they gain something they didn't have and then just keep going. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that, So I've been teaching about 31 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So really interesting. Last year, I become full-time. So means up to there, 30 years, I was teaching as a part-time, 2 days.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
The reason is I was so busy having my own business and touring, so I wanted to have more freedom in my life, And also, being at the music college, they don't hire so many full-time, only little full-time, a lot of part-time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how business works,
That makes sense.
So to become full-time, you have to have something very, very special. Otherwise, they don't really give you even like many, many years. But also, I thought Berklee was thinking, Tomo is all set because his business is doing great,
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it is. Because when I look at it, as a part-time people sometimes complain about, less money, and then, but you can make your own, So I start building my own, business. Then almost came up same amount of income that full-time people make, more.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that's cool, but having full-time at the college is really secure.
Yes.
Especially America, America, so much money for insurance, taxes, a lot of things, So they offer me 2 years ago, you want to be on full-time? Yeah, I love to. So now I teach 2 days, 4 more hours. That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's the
okay.
difference.
That's not bad.
Because one more thing, funny thing, being part-time is like you can teach up to 18 hours and 1 hour office hour every week.
Mm-hmm.
Full times teach up to 18 hours, 1 more hours more, and then 2 office hours.
That's
I know.
not bad.
Yeah. And then yearly like a salary. So I teach 2 semesters, and then summer is off. May to August, end of August, I'm off. Then I get to pay every month. Amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives you the time to go tour and do whatever else you want to do.
Yes. So between like May to end of August, I'm free to go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even during the semester, now I can hire part-time people to, fill me in. Means if I'm leaving 1 week, I ask some part-time people to hire them through college. So college does all, details, and they're happy too. It's really also really good, really good.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, amazing.
So we touched on something before we started recording that I think is important. We were kind of getting caught up with like what I do and all that jazz.
Yes.
And you mentioned having multiple different streams of revenue, and pretty much without fail, everybody I know that is working, there's some exceptions, but most people I know that are working full time doing music, that's the case for. They're teaching, they're on the road. They're making records, whatever they're producing. Some of them are engineers, whatever they're doing. There's multiple things always coming in at the same time. Yes. And I think that's not, maybe it's more talked about now, but I know when I was growing up, that was not talked about at all.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, being professional and, doing touring, recording, like you say, teaching and producing, but people never really talk about how much you really get or how much you should get. Right. Because this is almost a kind of secret. People say, I have a job, but they don't say detail, But then now, internet, people share experience and insight about, business. So it's okay to talk about just a little bit, not everything, but, what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, me, my main income is my Guitar Wisdom, which is subscribed by 80 different countries. So that's many thousands of subscribers. Once again, I can't say how many thousand because people calculate how much I'm making with those jealousy. So I don't say, but many thousand happy subscribers. Then I have a full-time job at the Berklee. Okay. Then I have about 45 original songs. And I have everything through CD Baby. So every 2 weeks, I get to pay from a lot of different source of revenue, money from that. And YouTube, I get to pay from YouTube. I get to pay from Instagram post. What else? Yeah. And then from StillMac, from Orangewood, because Orangewood to StillMac, like, I post like special link. So people click that, they buy, I get the percent. I surprised how much I get to pay from those guys, So you see already 5 or 6 of, income. Yeah. And then really nice to have. And then now I do, like, I can't say which company work with. For example, from background, you see some equipment I always show. Means I get to pay monthly. They are using me as an advertisement. So I don't get I used to do like try to do those kind of deal like a signature pedal.
Yep.
These sounds good as a musician, but this only made 350 unit.
Okay. Right.
And then I get to pay really well, but that's it. But then guess what? This company make more money because I helping them, because now this you can get this one, so it means everybody gets regular genre.
Yep. Exactly.
So I learned a lesson. I made a signature, but then I don't really make like sustainable money. Do you know what I mean? It's almost it's good. And then next one I did like this. Ibanez.
Mm-hmm.
Ibanez, they can hire me as an artist because I played so many different guitars.
Right.
Yeah. So they are nice people. But I said, I want you to, do endorsement, but I can't do it because company policy that, we can hire somebody plays, Fender or Gibson or some other things. And we always talk every year at the NAMM show, Skype, like that. Then I said, you see, like I love guitars called Duosonic or Music Master, right?
Yep.
They are really curious why I like these, And then I told them a lot of quality and simplicity. And then one day they said, I want to hire you as an advisor for the company.
Mm-hmm.
So they hire me to create this series.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah, so instead of getting paid as an artist, I get to pay more.
Mm-hmm.
More, Yeah, and then they hired me because we made a different title.
Oh, okay.
Different title instead of artist.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
You're an advisor.
You're advisor, ambassador for this one. So they hire me almost like a designer or, business consultant,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So like that. So I want you to understand, if you don't have a position, you create.
That's right. I like that.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I love talk, the possibilities. And then I don't really take literally about the no. They say no, but okay, fine. I will come back something,
I think that's
so
actually
that's why I came back.
That's really important, actually. No is so we run into this at Stringjoy a lot because we're the new string company, right? And
That's
so
amazing.
we're trying to push into. We started online, of course we did, and we started to push into retail over the last about 3 years.
Okay.
And there's a lot of no's there. Like, oh no, I can't possibly take another string brand,
Yeah.
And so many of those no's eventually, people keep coming in and asking for those. I guess we will.
Yeah.
I guess we will take them. So I've taken it as it's not a no. It's a not right now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if really no, they don't even come back to you.
Yeah.
If somebody come back to you, that means a little bit interesting, at least.
Yeah.
And then, but that's great story. When they say no, because this never happened before, so they don't know what's the outcome. But then you keep pushing it, and people start talking about, and they hear about you, then they change their mind.
Now, one of our biggest retailers, basically, in very professional and polite terms, told me to go pound sand initially. Go away. Just go away. Never talk to me again.
No.
Yeah.
I've had a like that, in the industry, a little bit more like a higher, position. And then sometimes I talk about, business plan like that. Yes, I was very much like a smash, don't talk me about this one because never ever gonna happen like that, right?
Yeah.
But then gradually you do with other company, other people, then this guy said, hey, what's going on,
Yeah, and then maybe you're the one saying no. Like,
right.
No, I already got it handled. It's okay, thank you.
Yeah. That's right. So that's why, like, in the business, you can say no to people, like, if, for example, if I get asked to do clinic or something like that, always said, I can't do this one, but maybe, don't say never, or you're not good enough, or, I do only this much, or like that. Don't say anything. Put that person down, because that person's going up like as you are,
Mm-hmm.
So always be positive. I think you're very smart. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Vincent, and I'm here to talk about the Merit Mercury X. My dad's always going on and on about how cool Maris is. He really went off on one about the Mercury X the other day. He said something about a 4800 hertz sample rate and 99 preset locations in 33 banks, and something along the lines of the most advanced reverb pedal ever devised by man? That's all true, but I only care about one thing. This pedal sounds sick. So make sure you check out the Mercury X and all the other fine products at maris.us, as well as fine retailers worldwide. All right, Dad, now can I have my Pocky?
How exactly do artists get their music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, all these services? How in the world do you get your music there? Well, in the past, you had to use something called a record label. But these days, you can use DistroKid. DistroKid is the absolute easiest way to get your music up on streaming services, and it's the most affordable way to do so. Not only do plans start at $22.99 for the entire year, that's less than $2 a month, DistroKid also does not take a cut of your streaming revenue, unlike some other services out there. Even better if you sign up by going to tonemob.com/distrokid. That's tonemob.com/distrokid. One more time, that's tonemob.com/distrokid. You'll get 30% off. That's right, 30% off their already extremely reasonable prices. So go to tonemob.com/distrokid and get your music out there. We are brought to you today by Sweetwater, specifically the Gear Exchange. You may have heard about this. This is a place where you can go to buy and sell your used gear. Maybe you got a pedal over there that's just kind of collecting dust. Maybe there's something you've been eyeing from the Sweetwater catalog. Well, right now is a great time to turn that unused gear into something you're actually going to use. Even better, if you sell on the Gear Exchange, you can keep 100% of the sale as long as you choose a Sweetwater gift card as your payout method. That is not too shabby because, let's be honest, most of this buying and selling we do is just to fund new gear purchases, and that is a great way to reach a wide variety of customers and keep 100% in your pocket, or rather on your pedal board. So go check out the Sweetwater Gear Exchange and turn that unused gear into something that's actually going to help you write that next huge riff. Yeah, well, and that's one thing I love about everything you put out too. You're also one of the most positive people putting out content, I think. Just as a general rule, and it makes me happier to be a part of the community, I think.
Yes. Well, idea is, a lot of guitar player, and I teach guitar. But then through guitar teaching, I really felt I really need to understand what person is, really, personality. Then I really need to know person's struggle, parents, not detail, but parents' relationship or everything, so that I can help this guitar, but then I help something else. So I realized guitar is not just teaching method from book or teaching style of, BB King or, phrase like that. Just a little bit more than that. Yeah. That's why I start doing. Also, I had really great opportunity. This is about maybe, let me see. It's a long time ago. Oh, okay. Makes sense. So this is like, 2018.
Okay.
I'm not sure you can see it.
It's a little bit. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold it. So his name is Owen. He has really, really severe anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
He smile. He's a nice guy. But if I ask him any assignment, then if I ask him, he starts shaking.
Okay.
And I was say, I'm only guy in front of you, nobody else. Why you shake? Then he said, I get just nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents say he gets very, very nervous. Okay, I'll teach him a little bit more than guitar. So what happened is I always said, don't worry, don't compare with other people, and don't expect too fast because it takes time.
Yeah.
And be kind to yourself. Also, like this one, only listen 3 records, or something like a funny one. Like buy your own guitar. Let's see, which one was that? Something like strong foundation. Listen to just 3 albums. Play simple. Yes, try us. I always say that. Oh yeah, this one. It's better to spend your own money.
Uh-huh.
That means like the reason is Owen's parents is very wealthy. Okay.
Okay.
Own a lot of building like that. So almost like if he asks, okay, daddy, can you buy me a guitar? Okay, yeah, like that. But if you do that, it's not too easy.
Yeah.
And this is something very, special to you. So even parents can buy your guitar, but you have to get the job and they get your guitar, because this way you appreciate every dollar you spend, So those things I teach. After that, he went to Berklee, so he finishes it. Now he can go to jam session. He can play with his, great playing. So, but anyway, so he's a really great example. I really worked with him about 3-4 years about anxiety through guitar.
It's interesting that it can be a tool like that. I don't think a lot of people think of it in that way necessarily.
Yeah. So now I teach guitar at the Berklee, but I teach a lot foundation. So I really teach people how to look at things more deeper. And then, to be patient, to be thoughtful, a lot of things, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why, my, like teachers or pick, I have a, don't worry, don't compare, don't expect too fast, be kind to yourself, because that's kind of my 4 things that I always say to people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's why guitar wisdom too. I say not the guitar school, guitar wisdom, because through guitar we appreciate our life and we have fun. Yeah, it's not so much about become rich or famous. It's just having something special to you, then works hard and you get return through that work.
Yeah.
And
It
then
is.
that go ahead.
No, it very much is that. It's like like learning an instrument and like working out or anything that you can like put effort in and see a return later. The
Yes.
delayed gratification part of it. If you can get through that, I think it teaches you a lot more than just how to play the instrument.
Exactly. I think that's the part as a guitar journey. So like, sometimes Instagram or TikTok only show the final product of an amazing player showing really cool, clothes and everything here. But then people, like worship about being famous or, getting a lot of attention. And then really easy to forget how important about the journey to really going through, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they work hard, they gain something, they feel good, they gain more confidence and, and more own personality going, So
Yeah.
I like that way. Yeah.
It's just such a I think we that are so into it, like especially the people that listen to this podcast, sometimes I think it's hard to remember when you were first starting how hard it is.
Really
It's
true,
really, really hard to like make even just a power chord when you're first starting out. Your hands don't want to do it.
No, right. No, even like E minor, E chord, kind of hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember like my dad like grabbing my finger and like trying to get it put,
that's
in the
great.
position
That's
and and it's just like my hand didn't want it. Now I just do it without thinking about it. But it's we can forget how hard those first couple steps are.
Right.
And if kids or adults, anybody who's starting out can get through that, the rewards are not too far away after you get through those first pains.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So it's really great. Yeah. But funny, being a YouTuber, I use YouTube too. But I think YouTube really like making guitar player a little too fast to learn. Means like sometimes showing licks or patterns a little bit too clearly so that people can learn, which is good, but without any foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So they learn patterns so quickly before, like you said, we'll focus on some simple stuff. So they can get it, but without the foundation, there's luck, between being real good player or pretend to be good player,
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. So I see a lot of problem from YouTube lately, yeah.
Some people are just wired that way too. I know a guy, this is going, 20 years ago now.
Okay.
And I used to play with this guy and his brother a little bit, and my friend was the drummer, and his brother was the like going to be the lead guitarist, quote unquote.
Okay.
Incredible guitarist, could shred like no one's business.
Okay.
Like just mind blowing shredder, but he couldn't play a song. Like we'd sit down to jam, like, okay, we're gonna play this song. He's like, well, I know the lead and no other parts.
Yeah,
I see. And so you'd start to play with them, and he wouldn't have any idea what to do on the basics, because he just wanted to get to the shreddy parts.
Right.
He wasn't. I liked the guy, but he wasn't fun to play with because he didn't know how to do, and he didn't have an. Beyond that, it's not obviously he was capable of it, but he didn't have an interest in learning anything but the hard bits.
Yeah.
And so then the song is kind of worthless at that point.
Yeah, and then that's the other part is that, years ago, somebody has to play bass line or rhythm guitar in order to somebody play solo. But now, if you go to YouTube or anywhere, you have backing track. The backing track, it's not like 3 minutes, it's like 10 minutes, so it's really long. And then if you play something, it sounds like a fits. That's how they make, backing track sometime. So a lot of people don't know chord progression. A lot of people don't know like Beatles songs or Rolling Stones songs. So they, right, like you say, they can play song, but they like kind of a shredding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know, that's a new thing.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, I'm very guilty as far as like lack of theory knowledge. Like I came up in the punk rock world, and so it was just bashing chords and running around.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine, because I know few famous punk rock guitar player in Japan. Then funny part, they respect me so much, and I respect them so much. If something, we hang out a little bit, and they feel very like lacking about that, theory. But they really understand. They just don't know how to call exact chords or harmony or intervals. So to me, theory is about how to measure about the intervals. They know the color. But that's it. That's the difference about knowing the theory. In other words, knowing the theory will make you a better player. If you know good music, then if you learn theory to measure that good music, understand good music, then you make yourself better,
Taking a couple steps back to that list of advice, I'm curious. I don't think I've heard the like only listen to 3 records part. What do you mean?
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that part, because I would say after 2001 or 5, CD, MP3, and that time, people don't listen to one album or side A or side B, right? So everybody listened like one song from MP3. Then Spotify came up, so people make a song list, playlist. So people don't listen to whole album, So I felt young people missing picture, like listen one artist, one album, then you go to next one. But now you can change anything. So I tell my students, I want you to pick only 2 to 3 albums right now and listen those about 3 to 6 months, and don't listen anything else.
Oh, okay.
almost like making like where I start. For example, why Eric Clapton so great? Because he didn't have a Spotify. He had a records, and he listened one records until almost the people said, I listen side A so much that almost I can hear side B, like that kind of a joke, you know.
Yeah.
Or somebody listens side A so much that I don't need even know the side B. I heard that story like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanna, keep the tradition as a musician how to listen. So if you listen to album, like here, I have album. I don't know what it is, but okay, I pull up like that. So if I see this picture, then
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the music right away. So in other words, every records I have here, anything I pull up, I can hear the sound. You know what I mean?
Because you've listened to it so much.
Yes, exactly. So I have about maybe 30 records that I want to listen here and there because that's what I do. And I have a lot of records there. I have a CD, but so I teach kids listen this way. That's why very important for example, when I teach first time at the Berklee, I have questionnaire. First question, list your favorite artists, anybody who influenced you.
Mm-hmm.
5 artists. And then usually people list 10. And I say, I ask 5.
Yeah.
I ask 5.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, why? It's just 10, just kind of same thing. No. More choice you have, you lose your chance to learn something. So less you have, you definitely learn something. So I'm not asking your favorite list of artists. I'm less asking life that's important, who you influences.
Mm-hmm.
So 5. So we sometimes, if somebody write the 10, take another 5 minutes, cut down the 5. And then I said, which album do you like? And they don't know the album sometimes. Well, you have to know the album. Which song you like? Then next question is album. Which album is song favorite? Then young people cannot list album. That's why I start worry about this.
Mm-hmm.
So album, if you don't know, check out the album, listen whole album, something like that. Yeah, so that's a question. And then third question, what is your weakness?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. What is your strength? Yeah, I ask you your strength,
Mm-hmm.
And then I ask weakness. And then if somebody say improvisation, I said that's a huge subject. You have to narrow down what type of music, what type of improvisation, who's your influence. So I ask a lot of questions. This way, I don't teach materials that like almost like a method or people using same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make a very special curriculum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why somebody say, I want to learn blues. Well, what type of blues?
Right.
I can't just blues licks, So I have to really ask a lot of questions. Then I ask list of your gear, strings, effects, amp, everything. Then very end, what would you like to learn with me this semester? Something like that. This way, I understand person's personality. Thinking too much, owning too much, or not able to say something clear. So then I work that personality part.
So you've been teaching for a very long time.
Yes, I
and
do,
obviously you've learned that these are important things to help identify so that you can help your students.
Yes.
But what was it like the first lesson that you gave?
Oh,
what was that like?
First lesson was awful.
Okay.
Yeah, probably awful. Probably, somebody want to play solo. This is like before I came to Berklee, because I was high school and music teacher said, you don't have to do anything. I give you A, but you have to teach everybody else. That's what he said.
You're like, oh,
because I can
okay.
play pretty well. So, high school, he said, I give you A, teach everybody in the class. And he doesn't do anything. He's just kind of, hang out. Because that's music class, we have to play guitar a little bit. So I have to teach everybody. And then one time he said, 1 year younger, somebody really wants to play guitar, but don't know anything. I want to teach this kid. It's like, he's not asking. He just made it. You have to do it, kind of deal.
Right.
So I have to do it. No experience. He come to my house and then he has a guitar. I still remember the face. He wants to play improvisation. He only know minor pentatonic. That's how you start.
Yeah.
Very hard. Then I can play a little bit. I don't know how to explain. So that's like awful. So play this patterns like that. So I was showing patterns.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do anything pattern, so anybody can teach patterns. So that was the beginning. Wow, this is, I can do it, but it's really hard to teach.
Yeah.
Because easy to teach what it is, but before what it is, you have to understand what is the artist influence, style, and rhythm guitar, bass line, harmony, everything, And more I learned, I was really interested. Okay, how can I teach this clearly? So if somebody said improvisation, first thing, I don't teach improvisation.
Okay.
Because I have to teach them foundation. So maybe I can ask, how much do you know, fretboard? Like that. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So like that, and then, okay. Then, I ask, do you know major scale? Everybody say, yeah, I know. But this is how I teach them. So I did it again. So like I ask, major scale, and then, sorry. Then I go like this. Can you play that? Yeah, I can play. Okay, so can you make a minor? And then sometimes people cannot play a minor scale without looking.
Oh, okay.
Flat 3, flat 6. So I change one fret to change it.
Uh-huh.
That's a theory.
Right.
This is not theory. This is a shape knowledge. Anybody can get. My mother can play, Yeah. So, but this one, it's like really important. So I teach like that. Then I teach, okay, can you play triads like that? But then what happened is I have a reverb on my, then play like that, and then some notes ringing. So I said, okay, so that's not right way to do. So this is what you do. Play, no sound, and go to the next one.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So then you learn how to deal with muting.
Yes.
So I'm not showing that's a triads. See, just showing triads is YouTube. Just showing quick and no guarantee,
Mm-hmm.
So like that. Then bottom, I play a little softer. Then sometimes I go side by side. Most people do this. Like that. So, okay, let's learn this. No noise. Then thumb position become more important.
Right.
Then palm muting. So like I teach material and I teach behind the scene. Like a really great player does,
Yeah, so it's not just about learning the thing, whatever the thing is, triads or whatever. You're kind of inserting within a way that they don't actually maybe even realize until later.
That's right. Yeah.
Other technique things.
Yeah. So beginning of a teaching, I'm just showing patterns or ideas of what I play. And then that wasn't really great. And so I teach a little bit more than something else, Yeah.
Hello there. I'd like to introduce you to your new best friend, the Chase Bliss Audio Lossy. Lossy is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Goodhertz. And it's meant to give you some control over those weird digital artifacts that come with very compressed audio. You're hearing it right now. All the changes that are taking place are strictly coming from my playing dynamics. I'm just interacting with the pedal and letting it do its thing. In some true stereo goodness. If you'd like some more details about Lossy, I'd invite you to head over to chaseblinssaudio.com. I think you're going to like what you find.
With Amex Platinum, you can really be in the now. Access to Resi Priority Notify. Yes! 4 p.m. checkout with fine hotels and resorts booked through Amex Travel.
We needed this.
And dedicated card member entrances at select events.
Let's go!
Means you can focus on the present moment. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex. Card member entrance access not limited to Amex Platinum Card.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/MBO. Terms and conditions apply.
When did you get to the point where you started having kind of that entrance survey that you were talking about where, you know, you were having people list their top 5 albums? And when did that start and what inspired that?
That started around probably early 2000 maybe. Oh, no. Probably 5 years later since I teaching at the Berklee.
Mm-hmm.
Just because every semester I teach, and then something I learn every time, something not communicating well, you know what I mean? So what happened is people come to my class, my lesson, and I ask students, so what can you do? What do you think your weakness like that? In conversation, you say something very, simple and brief, So okay, then I can't really ask too much because of time too,
Yeah.
So, but if you make them sit down to write something, they think a little bit more about information. Then whatever written, I can really negotiate. Okay, you have to say a little bit more because I don't understand, So I think, so that's like real communication problem that I had, first 3-5 years at the Berklee probably.
Mm-hmm.
Communication problem means I want to know more about students, but they don't give me.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then, lessons only half an hour. We can't really talk too much. What can I do? Okay, I ask questions first.
Mm-hmm. Get that out of the way.
So that way, I believe 1998, around there, already I have blues listening list, funk listening list, questionnaire, put them, year. So that's how I started. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We're at I told the people in the Tone Mob Facebook group that you were coming on.
Oh, cool.
And asked them if they had any
question. Yeah.
Any questions. Let's see what we got. I didn't give them enough time, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
Hopefully people aren't mad at me. Let's see what we got. Okay, we got two really good ones here.
Okay.
Abe Matthews, he says best tips for living with clean tone. He's like, Tomo's clean tones are amazing and so articulate. I think he's asking, if I'm putting words in his mouth a little bit, like, you are known for playing more clean, I feel like. Obviously, you've played with everything under the sun. But can you expand on like how you get those tones and like what your maybe go-to rig is? And then if there's any technique stuff on there too, that probably would help too.
So I use a lot of single coil guitar, and then I'm very, very picky about the tone. This guitar, Kanji Kawabata made, and then originally I have 3 pickups, but I have one middle, one front, all different variations.
Mm-hmm.
One pickup makes much more sustain because no magnet pull.
Yeah.
Number one, my tone always all the way up. So at the Berklee, I ask students, do not touch this one. but the volume, I ask them, never go to 10 when you practice. Always keep it 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then raise your guitar amp as loud as you can. Means like a little bit more like set uncomfortable. This means you have to pick really carefully. You can't just pick like that, just carefully. And for example, if you use Fender Hot Rod, I ask them to use channel 2 because less gain. And then volume about maybe 1, depends on the amp.
Yeah.
And then tone, treble set about 8. And the bass about 3 or 4. Middle about 5. Presence about maybe 5. That's how we start lesson.
Mm-hmm.
No reverb. Here's the important. I tell them, I want you to believe no reverb does not exist in this world.
Okay.
I'm not asking just not use reverb. No, I want to believe reverb does not exist in this world.
Okay.
That's how we start. Then what happens is now you see clean tone from the amp, no reverb become so beautiful.
I am very guilty of drenching everything in copious amounts of reverb.
No, that's fine. That's fine because funny part is I am making my reverb pedal. This is really funny. I have a reverb pedal. This is one control. We are making signature. So I love reverb, but when I use performance, I use reverb. So one side is regular reverb, one side very deep reverb.
Nice.
This is really good reverb. Anyway, but at the lesson, first thing, no reverb. And a lot of people surprised because they tend to go a little bit reverb on.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how you get get rid of a noise issue and everything bright. So you pick a little softer in the picking.
Right.
Yeah. So then now I use one control. You can see there, but that's a transition.
Mm-hmm.
So that I get same tone everywhere I go. Yeah.
I didn't know One Control did amps. I knew about their pedals. Yes, but I didn't know they did amps.
Yeah. So like this is a. Yeah, so basically sounds a little bit brighter, little less bass, so that you can really work on. Really hard to teach how to get the clean sound.
Yeah,
but idea is you don't want to get full volume from amp. Keep it 8 or 9, and then loud enough. Then you use picking volume.
Okay.
So almost like this: guitar volume a little less, more volume from amp, and then picking volume.
That makes sense.
So in other words, begin with kind of loud, almost like a little bit difficult to touch. Then your picking is really working. So if you pick hard, you don't get my clean tone.
Mm-hmm.
You get more like a thin tone,
Yeah.
Almost like this one is really speaking, making the tone, So
I'm gonna play with this later. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I tend to just kind of blow past that point and get into just a different territory. But I kind of I want to experiment with it a little more and live in that world for a while.
And then great part is this way, you can play any guitar, any amp, anything, you get your tone because this is how you get the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. That's very good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see what the other question is here. Okay. We got just one more for now. Sorry everybody, I should have told you that it was coming on yesterday, but I failed. So we only got 2 questions.
Maybe, people ask it later. Let's go. Yeah.
John Schick, he says, this is a great question.
Okay.
Being a teacher, how does he adjust his lessons and quote unquote homework for a student with ADHD or similar attention deficits?
Yes, we have more and more. Yeah. So basically, I do really slow to teach one subject. And at the lesson, I make a video with my phone and then airdrop the video.
Okay.
Then I make longer lesson on the subject and list it on YouTube.
Got it.
So this way, I explain really slow. I ask more questions. I ask more to prepare and then, digest. So I don't really mad or anything like that. If they cannot play it, fine. But I make sure even they have, learning disability, but no excuse when you have all sources, So I explain clearly, make video, make longer video, and they have all line up.
Yeah. And usually one of those things, or maybe they need all of them, but one of those things will stick. Right?
Yes, want to stick. Yeah. Then when I ask them homework, I do not ask them to play in front of me. I ask them to make YouTube video on unlisted.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
The reason is this way, I can see students' posture and visual aspect. So if somebody want to do, for example, to be a, player, then they play, say like I give them like melody or phrasing homework, then they're supposed to play. All right. Before they play, this is the problem. You didn't see where I'm coming, where I'm starting, because I'm not moving my body. So I teach them this. Yeah, moving this, because without the sound, they need to know where you are.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Something like that. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I teach them that way. So if you have a problem learning, problem, you have to give yourself enough time to prepare. But also when you're working with the people, don't be hesitate to ask more questions. And go to office hours. Yeah. So in other words, I'm sure I have some disability about maybe not listening what my wife says. Those things. She says something very clear, but clearly I'm not listening because she just talk a lot. So just kidding about. Yeah. So something like that. See, that's not excuse, right? So in other words, anything assignment you have, you make post on the YouTube unlisted, and watch yourself, watch your teacher, then little bit more you have discovery.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, cool.
All right, we're getting down to the final questions of the podcast. I ask these questions of every guest, but But before I do that, I like to give the guests the opportunity to take the stage. You're talking to a few thousand people right now.
Yeah.
You can plug anything you want to plug. You can shout out anybody you want to shout out. You can say hi to your mom. Whatever you want to do. The floor is yours. Yeah.
All right. Yes. So if you are really serious about guitar playing, also, if you have any, not the problem, but just if you want to really express yourself, and if you want to challenge more, if you want to more increase your confidence, or maybe like more community, like because I have Guitar Wisdom, which is video subscription lessons. I have about 300 lessons more. Then I have a community like a forum. A lot of people post their assignment. They talk to each other. I jump in a little bit, talk. So it's really a great place to express yourself and study guitar. If you're interested, please join.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, wherever you're watching or listening to this, the link for that will be down in the show notes. So you can just click that and it'll take you right there. Easy. You won't have to do any searching. It'll be right there. So
wonderful.
All right. Last two questions. Then we'll slide over to Patreon and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into. First one, what is your favorite boss pedal?
Oh, you know what? I was going to ask something about boss pedal. Just because I have a pedal board, I have a one control Vemram, and I have a BJF, I have a Ibanez, and then I have so many pedals, right? For example, this pedal. Sorry. Oops. What's going on? This pedal. This is my hobby.
Yeah. This is great.
So this is my hobby, like almost like a checking out stuff. I have so many boss pedal, and then this is like my boss pedal, kind of fun pedal that I just put like this, and then I just put sometime OD1, SD1, and then Bruce Driver distortion to really hear the great sound of a boss pedal. Yeah, to me, like I think Dimension C is really unique.
Yeah, it is.
Because chorus pedal has a lot of thing, but that's only have 4 choice, and really cool, like little 80s, chorus sound. Yeah, I like. That's my best. Then OD1.
The classic.
Yeah, I have so many OD1. Yeah. I mean, okay, so it's guilty. I have about probably 20 OD1.
20 OD1s? Wow.
More, yeah, probably more. Just because I was curious the difference, So I bought so many TS10. One point I had over 30 pedals, but I sold most of them to my students because I don't need so many. But this one, I have so many. It's kind of fun pedal. I love simplicity. Just 2 knobs, nothing else. I think still great pedal.
Definitely.
Actually, my quick question: what is your boss pedal, like a favorite boss pedal?
My favorite boss pedal? It changes a lot.
Okay.
So let's say my favorite boss pedal this week is I'm probably going back to probably the DD2. I think the DD2 and DD3 they've become so ubiquitous, but they really have a cool, unique sound to them.
True.
I think they are kind of overlooked because they're so common now. But they just have the way those delays. Everyone's like, oh, it's a very crisp digital delay, and that is true. But they have their own character on the repeats.
True. Yeah.
That I really enjoy.
Yeah. Because when I came to Berklee, I had DD2, 2 of them on my pedal board. One is shorter delay, about 35 milliseconds, and one other was 450 milliseconds, like that. So I always have a short and long.
Yeah.
Because I would play more fusion, Then SD1. Yeah. But more and more, I play different pedals, and I have so many boss pedals, but somehow there is not so much a chance to play a boss pedal. That's why I was curious. Maybe I should play that. And then lately, I use this one a lot.
Oh, I've heard that one's great.
This is really great.
Yeah.
But I already have a Vemram pedal, so sometimes having 2 boosters is too much, One pedal board.
Oh, yeah. And for the people listening who didn't see what that was the booster preamp.
Oh, yeah. That's what you... Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Cool, man. Oh. Yeah, I also go back to sometimes I'm like, I really like the BF2, the flanger, the original Boss flanger. That's just got
I have one too. Yeah, I have one. Yeah.
I love that thing. It's weird, but I like it. It's
yeah. That's very nice pedal. But DD2, that's great. Yeah, great pedal. Yeah.
I got a DD2 and an early DD3. Yes. And I opened them up, and I'm convinced that the only difference is because I played them side by side, and I was like, these sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I opened them up, and I'm like, these are the same pedal. Like the long chip DD3, like it barely fits in there, and the DD2, pretty sure they're exactly the same. I don't know why they changed the name at some point, but
let me because I have a DD. This pedal board has DD3, but I have DD2 on my shelf. I will check later.
Yeah, some of them, the later DD3s had a shorter chip in them.
Oh, really?
But like the very, very early ones had this big, huge. It takes up almost the whole circuit board. It's crazy.
Because when I showed this pedal board on Instagram, somebody said you don't have any Boss pedal. And actually, I have so many Boss pedal in my room, but not on my board. I felt really bad because I have so many, and I work with Boss too sometimes. So. Maybe I should have one for respect.
I love Boss so much. I use the tube amp expander like every single day.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I'm a big fan. I like Boss quite a lot.
Nice to hear. Yeah.
All right. Final question.
Okay.
What is your favorite kind of pizza?
Favorite pizza, cheese.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
I like sometimes pepperoni, but I think. The reason is, my wife is half Italian, and my wife's older sister's husband is 100% Italian. He always make really good cheese pizza.
Oh yeah, I believe.
And then he makes something else, but I think if cheese pizza is good, then anything you put the top of it, it's great. Yes. See, this is all same as foundation. Try it. Good foundation, important.
That's right. I like it. I'm with you on the cheese pizza.
That's good. How about you? What pizza do you like?
Oh, so I get pretty nerdy about it, but like if I've never been to a pizza place before, I'll probably go for their cheese just to see see what they're working with. You have to. Yeah. But I really like wood-fired Italian style. I like New England style pizza. I love New York City and New York pizza. Yeah.
So Usom is good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can get real nerdy about that. I've had pizza. Cool. I've had pizza chefs on here before.
Really? I love the question Boss pedal because I was going to ask about Boss pedal because I need one to use for my pedal board. So that's actually cool. DD2. I will put that.
Yeah, go with the DD2. I think people.
I will do it.
It gets overlooked. Bring back the DD2.
I will do that. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Tomo, thank you for your time. We'll slide over to Patreon and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into. Okay. But appreciate it very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody. This is Blake. For Tomo, good luck and good tones, people.
Thank you.
All right, folks, there you have it. There's another episode in the can. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you so much to Tomo for taking his time. He has a lot of things going on, so it was really, truly an honor that he took some time out of his day to do this. And guess what? There's even more on Patreon. Yes, Tomo and I dove into some subjects on Patreon that you may not be expecting us to cover. So if you need a little bonus content and you'd like to help support this show and get access to ad-free episodes, check out patreon.com/tonemob for all your extra content needs. Thank you so much to everybody who does that. And if you'd like to up your guitar game, make sure you check out Tomo's Guitar Wisdom. The link is in the description of this or the show notes or whatever you're listening to this on. It's where the words are. You'll find the link to Tomo's lessons and all that jazz as well as his YouTube and socials and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get out of here. I got stuff to do. And you got stuff to do. Yeah, links to click. All right, I will talk to you on the internet very soon, folks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gunstreet as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gunstreet harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.
Hi, I'm Daniela Clark.
I'm Barbara Ann Wild.
And we are the Honest AF Show.
Our podcast is real honest conversation with our celebrity friends and pros.
Covering our anything but average rock and roll lifestyles.
All while tackling the hell that is aging and the battle of beauty.
Oh yeah, nothing is off the table.
The Honest AF Show is available wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to us talking about our podcast for a minute.
What's the name of that podcast?
That's Axe to Grind, and right now you're going to be getting a little taste of it, right down to the shaky microphone and all.
And my name's Bob.
And my name's Patrick, and usually we're joined by Tom.
Tom's the best. Tom has a real grown-up job that requires him to be at work, but we talk about decidedly not so grown-up things like
hardcore music and things that people that like hardcore music tend to like.
So that could be the latest shows, revisiting classic material, talking about the new classics, all the little dorm room nonsense that you imagine from niche music podcasts that you either love, want to love, or hate.
Yeah, imagine all the emotions that you have towards a genre that has impacted your life, and then condense them down to an hour to 2 hours a week.
So triangulate your speakers, think about jumping off the bed, singing along, dancing like an idiot, and listen to Axe to Grind podcast.